Humanity had been exploring deep space for many years. They searched for new world, new resources, and new hope. Most missions ended the same way: empty space and silent stars. This time was different. A human exploration fleet entered a cold and quiet star system far from Earth. The stars were dim, and no life signs appeared on the scanners. Just as the fleet was about to leave, one ship detected something strange. There was a massive object ahead. At first, it looked like a frozen planet. It was enormous, dark, and completely still. Ice covered its surface. The fleet commander ordered a full scan. The results made no sense. The object had perfect circular lines across its surface. The gravity readings were wrong. The core was hollow. This was not natural. Scientists aboard the fleet grew nervous. A planet could not be shaped like this. As the ships moved closer, the truth slowly became clear. The object was not a planet. It was a ship so large that it could be mistaken for a world. No engines were visible. No weapons were detected. Yet faint energy readings still came from deep inside it. The ship was ancient, older than any human technology. The fleet stopped moving. No one spoke. Then, without warning, a deep orange light flickered inside a massive circular opening on the ship's surface. Systems across the human fleet reacted at once. The object had noticed them. The commander whispered the words no one expected to hear. This thing was never dead. Humanity had not found a planet. They had found something impossible. And whatever it was, it had just awakened. The human fleet stayed still as the strange light slowly faded. No attack came. No signal followed. Only silence. After several tense minutes, the fleet commander gave the order to scan again. This time, the readings were clearer. The object was fully artificial. Every layer, every curve, every shadow was built by intelligence. It was confirmed. The object was a ship, but not just any ship. It was larger than moons, larger than cities, larger than anything humanity had ever imagined. Scientists struggled to understand how such a thing could even exist. Energy flowed through the ship like a sleeping heartbeat. The power source was unknown, yet stable. Ancient but not weak. A decision had to be made. A small exploration team was chosen. They flew toward the massive opening where the light had appeared. As their shuttle crossed the threshold, all human signals briefly cut out. Inside, the team saw something unbelievable. Vast, empty halls stretched in every direction. Towering structures rose like silent cities. The walls were smooth and dark, covered with strange symbols that glowed softly when humans passed by. There were no bodies, no signs of battle, no damage. It was as if the builders had simply left. Suddenly, the symbols changed color. A deep sound echoed through the halls, slow and powerful. The ship was reacting to their presence. Data began flowing into human systems. Not words, not images, patterns. The ship was testing them. Back with the fleet, alarms went off. Long-range scanners detected distant energy spikes across the galaxy. Someone else had noticed the ship. Humanity was no longer alone. And deep inside the planet-sized ship, something ancient had begun to watch the humans closely. The galaxy was waking up. Far beyond the human fleet, deep across the stars, something changed. Long-range sensors belonging to ancient alien civilizations detected a sudden signal. It was old, older than their histories, older than their empires. They knew that signal. Fear spread quickly. In secret councils and hidden worlds, alien leaders gathered. Many had believed the planet-sized ships were only myths, stories told to frighten young species. But now, the signal was real again, and it came from humans. Messages raced across the galaxy. Warnings were sent. Observers were dispatched. Silent fleets moved through dark space. Humanity did not know any of this. Inside the massive ship, the human exploration team continued their slow advance. The ship adjusted to them. Lights followed their movement. Doors opened without being touched. The ship was not hostile. It was curious. Back on the fleet, strange transmissions appeared on human channels. They were not attacks. They were questions. Short, Cold messages from alien powers. Leave the object. You do not understand what you have found. Withdraw immediately. Human leaders were confused. No alien had ever spoken to them with such urgency before. As alien fleets gathered at a distance, panic grew. Some species fear humans would awaken an unstoppable weapon. Others fear humans would become its masters. None of them knew the truth. The ship did not obey commands. It responded only to presence. And it responded best to humans. Deep within the ship, a massive structure began to move for the first time in millions of years. Systems older than the galaxy's empires started to align. The ship was not choosing a ruler. It was choosing a guardian. And across the galaxy, ancient civilizations realized something terrifying. Humanity had just stepped into a role no one else was worthy to claim. The silence did not last. At the edge of the star system, alien fleets began to arrive. One by one, massive warships dropped out of hyperspace. They stayed at a distance, watching the planet-sized ship with fear and anger. Human commanders felt the pressure. Messages arrived from alien leaders. Some demanded control. Some demanded destruction. Others warned humanity to step away before it was too late. Humanity had never faced a galaxy like this before. Inside the ancient ship, the human team felt a change. The air vibrated softly. The walls glowed brighter. The ship was becoming active. Without warning, a deep voice echoed through the halls. It was not sound, but meaning. It flowed directly into human minds. Not words, not threats. A choice. The ship showed them visions. Long ago, the galaxy had burned. Powerful empires had ruled without mercy. The planet-sized ships were built to stop them, not to conquer, but to protect balance. The builders were gone. Now the ship was alone, and it had been waiting. Outside, an alien fleet moved closer. Weapons powered up. They believed humanity was about to claim ultimate power. Human leaders tried to speak. They asked for time. They asked for peace. The ship answered first. Space trembled as enormous structures on the ship's surface slowly unfolded. Energy gathered, controlled, and precise. Not wild, not angry. A warning. Every alien sensor screamed in fear. The power was beyond anything they could resist. The humans realized the truth. They did not control the ship. The ship had chosen them. And if war came, it would not be humanity who decided the galaxy's fate. The ancient guardian had already awakened. The ancient ship did not fire at first. Instead, it sent out a single wave of energy. It moved faster than light, touching every alien fleet in the system. Weapons shut down. Shields collapsed. Engines froze in place. No ships exploded. No lives were lost. But every fleet was helpless. Across the galaxy, shock turned into fear. Alien commanders could not understand what they were seeing. The power used was perfect, controlled, and precise. This was not a weapon of destruction. It was a warning. Human leaders watched in silence. They had expected chaos. They had expected war. Instead, the ship showed restraint. A message followed, broadcast across all known space. It did not come from humans. It came from the ancient ship itself. The message was simple. This region is under protection. The galaxy listened. Old empires remembered the stories. The planet-sized ships were not conquerors. They were guardians, created to stop those who abused power. And now, one had returned. With humans beside it, fear slowly changed into respect. Alien fleets pulled back. Some lowered their weapons. Others sent quiet requests for communication. For the first time in galactic history, humanity was not ignored. They were not feared as destroyers. They were seen as chosen. Within the ship, systems stabilized. The energy levels lowered. The warning was complete. Human scientists finally understood. The ship did not want rulers. It did not want war. It wanted balance. And it believed humanity could provide it. As the alien fleets retreated, a new thought spread across the stars. A dangerous one. A hopeful one. If the ancient guardian trusted humans, perhaps the galaxy should too. Humanity stood at the center of attention, unsure, unprepared, but no longer small. The galaxy would never see them the same way again. The days that followed were quiet, but nothing was the same. Alien fleets withdrew from the human star system. Old threats faded into cautious distance. Messages replaced weapons. Questions replaced fear. Humanity had not asked for this role, but it had been given. The ancient ship remained near the silent star, its massive form calm and still. It did not move unless humans were present. It did not respond to alien commands. It responded to human intent. Human leaders made a choice. They refused to claim power over the galaxy. They refused to rule through fear. Instead, they spoke openly to other civilizations. The ship was not a weapon. It was a shield. Slowly, trade routes reopened. Smaller species came forward, asking for protection against old empires. The ancient ship watched silently, approving only actions that preserved peace. Inside its deep chambers, more systems awakened. Records appeared. Images of long-gone builders filled human screens. They were not gods. They were guardians who had failed once, and hoped humans would not. The ship had waited for a species that could hold power without hunger. It had waited for humans. Across the galaxy, the story spread. Humanity was no longer seen as weak or young. They were seen as steady, patient, fair. The galaxy adjusted. Human explorers continued their journey, not as conquerors, but as protectors of balance. Wherever injustice grew, the presence of humanity brought pause. And somewhere among the stars, the ancient ship remained watchful, not above humanity, beside them. Humanity had not conquered the galaxy. They had earned its trust. And for the first time, the